Hello, it's Daniel Perez from Central Coast Kenpo Karate, and today we're covering some of like the advanced drills that you can do with capture leaves. So this would be like for some of the students that are advanced that know how to apply the base technique and going over some variations. So we have our saying like out of contact, within contact, contact penetration, contact manipulation. We're going to use that concept with some of the what if situations we're going to think of, and then also being able to apply the technique if something goes south, and how we can stick to some of the technique and be able to graft in another technique. Okay, so I'm just going to share some ideas on how we can make grafting and stuff like that work. We have broke down in the last video, everyone, we did break down the hand sword, the lift of the elbow to the back elbow, to the outward elbow, stuff like that. So we're just kind of recapping on it. So again, from standing natural or sitting, if I was sitting down or whatnot, someone just happens to grab my fingers, tries to put me in a lock, I'm gonna go with the motion, not against it. So as I'm starting to get the lift up, I step, do a hand sword, stepping off to this angle as I cover my ear, just in case someone tries the elbow. I'm gonna stand an elbow, then come back with the right elbow, okay? So base technique is just using some borrow force. I hit the guy in the kidney or in the back, ribs, and then come back, borrow the force, hitting him in the solar plexus. And this can vary on the height. So if someone is taller, I'm gonna go to the body, the torso area. If someone is shorter, I'm probably gonna go upper body to the head area, okay? So to detect obviously we know the targets can change. So a fun drill we can think of doing is entangled wing from the front versus capture leaves from the side. So if you have, let's say, a group of 3, what I would recommend, and let's assume they know those techniques, is you have someone grabbing entangled wing from the front. So as soon as the first attacker comes in, I'm going to do my entangled wing, because they're very similar techniques to those. The basics of the spinning elbows are pretty identical, okay? One is done from the front, one is done from the side flank, which is the right flank. So obviously if I have somebody grabbing my hand from the back, so I could be surprised. The person behind me would be pointing, would either be going like this or like this to let the person in front know who's going to attack the person in the middle. So if I had a person in front of me and a person on this behind me, I should be able to adapt these techniques. So again, the person on the back starts to grab, I'm going to do my capture leaves. And then let's say I see the person is real close, they come up, they get me in the lock, I do my my entangled wing. How to be ready for a finger lock here, how to be ready for like this attempted wrist lock or shoulder lock from the front. So now we're gonna cover some ideas on what if the technique is done from, you know, if the opponent swings another arm at you, releases right away, right when you're about to do the hand sword. So we're gonna talk about those areas. And I'm gonna show you guys how to incorporate, because there was a request about putting the brake in there. So I do have an area where you can put the arm brake as well. So again, I teach my students without the arm brake when they first learn it, and then later on I show them that you could apply it just like entangled wing has. So we'll cover that. All right, okay, we're back. So we're gonna go over some application on how the technique can be done from the front, capture leaves, and how it can be done from the flank. Okay, so we'll go slow. So I'm gonna have the arm brake on this one. So as she comes in and she starts to apply the finger lock, I'm gonna go ahead and walk with her and shoot this up. Now, the one thing I'm gonna do though, is I'm gonna see if I can maintain contact here and grab the wrist and pull her into this shot. With me, I can use my elbow because my elbow's coming up anyways. I can snap right here, boom, right up against the elbow. So I can take the momentum of snapping here. Okay, since I'm taller, I can take advantage of that. Now, even for someone that's shorter, if you can just simply drop the arm and lift up the elbow with gravity, you can do that. Now I can continue that break if I want it. So I can start the break from that point. But another way we can do that is control it with the right. So if she grabs again, and once I go here, boom, I can come here, control it, now I can snake this one around and break here, and now I'm in my entangled wing situation. So I have my back elbow, and now I have my outward elbow here, and then I can just cross out and check. So I can cause a break from the point of here, which is grabbing and snapping this way. I can snap it up, or I can break the hold from this position and then wrap and switch and cause my break that way. Okay, so it really depends on how the opponent's reacting to you on this one. So as she grabs, again, here's the first break here. I can use that to cause some injury and then just continue my motion. So I don't have to worry about hesitating or slowing myself down. Or I can go into that arm break. So as she comes up, I can come up, break here, switch, and see if I can catch it, hook it as I drop my weight down, and then pull her into the borrow force elbow and cross out. So this is a really neat thing we can play with, because again, we're talking about out of contact. Okay, so she's out of contact. Within contact, she's starting to grab. Okay, contact penetration, shooting the hand start to penetrate to break the hold. Contact manipulation, which is breaking and coming up here. Okay, so from the front, it can be done the same way. So if we were this way and she grabs from the front, I can come up, snap here, come up under here and snap, and come back. Or I can stick to my base version without the break. So she got checks. Again, one, and then I just simply come down, and I push here, and I can shove or just brace her here with my bracing angle. And I now go into a what-if phase. And this is something that's just an idea we thought of, is pulling the hand back and punching in the middle of you trying to break this finger lock. Okay, so trying to get out of the finger lock is the situation we're in. So we'll go slow. So as she starts to grab, let's assume she's grabbing, I'm lifting, and I'm going for the break, but she pulls her hands back and sees it. So with this being said, I have two choices. Since this arm's coming up, I can keep it here, or I can commit here. Okay? If I'm going to commit there, I'm just going to keep this motion coming up since my elbow's driving up. So since my elbow's coming up, I can come up, heel palm claw here, or I can come up, elbow here. You can then fill in the gaps at that point. Okay, so at that, my main concern is making sure I can have a counter ready to go if that punch is coming in quickly. So once again, as she grabs, I'll go slow. As we're coming up, this chop is coming in, but if she pulls this arm back, here's my left hand to check it, and then now my elbow's coming up anyways, I might as well take advantage of that momentum. And then at that point, I can check here, I can do whatever I want, you know, come down, like I said, heel pump claw, I can add in, you know, some valve and potion, whatever you guys want to do, okay? It's just being able to go, okay, well, if I'm going up with my elbow, I might as well cause a break, you know, a block, a check, or a strike, right? Or even all together, right? So with that being said, we want to be able to take our Kenpo and how can we utilize not just as one thing we're doing, but multiple things, right? Which is one check. So now from the front, same idea. So she starts to grab. The neat part about being in the front is that I can have a little more options too. As I come up, I shoot here, I can come up, come back down. So I'm back into the squared position. My right leg is checking her leg right here, and then I can manipulate if I want to, you know, just stuff like that, right? You know, you can graft in other techniques, or you can make up your own combos, whatever works. Now, let's go into the second what if, and that is possibly spinning on you, okay? So she comes from the side, okay? And as I'm coming up to break this hold, she might spin, and that leads me into this left elbow where I can counter and check low, and then come back and elbow her here to the head, okay? So if we go into this motion, if they're rolling, you can roll with them and have them run into your elbow shot. Okay, that's one thing that we can take the rolling of the elbows that's useful for, right? So she comes in, we'll go slow again. She comes in from the back. I go one, she starts to roll. I can check her here with my right, elbow her here, and then rebound and come right back with my other arm. Okay, so we'll do it from the front so you get a good viewpoint here. So again, she grabs. She starts to lift. I come up, she starts to roll. I roll with her. I see that she's rolling. I'm going to commit to my rolling technique, which is my spinning elbow. And then from here, come back and spin with my elbow once again. Forward bow, or you can adjust up the circle. I would prefer just to hit the forward bow. You know it's going to make it, especially if they're real close to you. This technique's real close in contact, so being able to have that spinning motion and rolling using the rotational force is definitely going to be a factor when it comes to, you know, applying this what if. So now it can be either one. As you know, formulation can be, well, you know, sometimes they'll throw the punch, sometimes they'll stay there so you can do the technique, or sometimes they're going to roll on you, right? So if we're here, again, we'll just kind of walk it slow. We'll go with the punch. Let's assume she's doing the punch, so I come up, there's the punch, I pull it up, and here is my, basically my thrusting wedge. I got my up and my down for my thrusting wedge, okay? All right, and that can be done, again, from the front or from the side, okay? So I'll just kind of stick to the front for now. So she grabs, she starts to pull up, one here. I got this coming up, and then the claw. So I can add in my thrusting wedge as I pull her into this shot from there. Now, my other technique is the roll. So as she starts to come up, I start to roll here, roll with the elbow check, and then come back here. Now, I can check here, then I can manipulate once again and break the arm this way. So there's so many options that are going to start to come to mind. So you guys might have some better options. You might have other options that work for you that, you know, I haven't thought of, that's what's neat about this art. And that's what's really awesome about continuing to expand and grow the system and just get it better and better every time we practice it. So again, we talked about out of contact, was in contact, contact penetration, contact manipulation. So contact manipulation, being able to see if I can break the arm. So once again, she comes from the front, we'll go slow. As she starts to raise, I'm gonna go here, but let's assume she's not gonna punch. We're gonna assume no punch here. So I'm gonna come up, break here, so I could cause a break on this point, or some injury to the elbow, and then I can finish my base here, okay? Now, the other way, which is a tangled wing, she comes up, I can start coming up here with the break and then snake under and then crack here and come back, and there's my entangled wing. Okay? So obviously we can always blend these together with what is with the break, without the break. But these are some ideas we wanted to share with you that some of the advanced guys can do, and that's something fun for their level. So hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully expanded some more ideas to think about capture leaves. It's a technique that's not talked about as often, but there's a lot of little cool things that could be incorporated with this technique. So hopefully this was something that you guys can take. If not, no worries. Just enjoy doing these videos. We really enjoy communicating and meeting other Kenpoists. And like I said, we are looking forward to continuing sharing this to the next generation. And thank you guys again for all the support. We appreciate the feedback. And awesome, we did hit the 1,000 subscribers, by the way, for CCKK's channel, so we appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much for all the support and everything with it, and we'll continue to put up more videos. Leave a comment down below if you want certain techniques, if you want me to go through them and things like that. Thank you again. That's our technique video for this week, and you guys have a great day.
Thanks for watching the video. Click on the bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel.